Hello and welcome to Access 2013 tutorials. In this video I'm going to be continuing talking about invoices. I think this is the 7th video in that little mini series, and in this video we're going to be creating the query that will be based off of the union query we made in a previous video. So rather than me trying to explain, I'll just show you. So if you want to play along, follow the link below the video to the download section of the website, download Access 2013 DB50 and open that one up in 2013. Okay, password's password. Now we are in the middle of making an invoicing facility, and if we go to invoices, you can see we've got the invoice data sheet here. We've got an invoice data entry form here with extra charges and payments, which is great, and we can add a payment by clicking on make payment. We'll probably add a column in here at some point that says print, well, it just says print actually, so we can print the invoice. So now we've got the sort of data entry part of the invoices sorted out. We need to move to making the actual invoice itself, which is basically a report in Access, and it will contain a sub-report. What we need to do is we need to take a look at query. Which query do we want? Costs, payments, union. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this query, we're going to drop it into another query, and we're going to use a couple of Dlookup functions. We're essentially going to expand on it and use that as the basis for the sub-report. So let's dive straight into that. So close that, go to create, click on query design, and from show table click on query costs payments union and close that. And let me just brighten my screen, which you cannot see. I think that would be a bit strange if you could. Anyway, what do we want from query costs payments union? Well, everything, as it happens, but there is something I want to show you which I call the multiplier, which is if we run it, when we create the sub-report, and this sub-report is going to be based off of this query we're creating now, we want it to have what's called a running sum. So what we want it to do is it needs to identify whether an amount should be added to the running sum or subtracted from the running sum. So at the moment all the amounts are positive, but what we want to do is we want to make payments positive and we want to make anything else negative. The idea being that if they hadn't made any payment at all, the transaction here, where this is just 4 nights in a room equals 480, that should be minus 480. So minus 480 means that the hotel's owed 480, and if you go down to a payment which says 840, well, that should definitely be a plus because that's money been given to the hotel. If that's not too clear, don't worry, this video and the next video you'll get a very clear idea of what I'm trying to do. So anyway, let us go into design view, click in here, go to builder and call this field multiplier, and very simple, just put open and close quotation marks because I need to move this property sheet. We are looking at item and we're going to say if, and it's the IIF, which is the immediate if, item, put that in open and close square brackets, if item equals, and then open and close single quotation marks, payment I think, comma, the true part should be 1. Now if it equals payment, yeah, that's 1, comma, minus 1. Close it off and then press run. So when it equals payment, we get a 1, and when it or anything else isn't a payment, we return a minus 1. Then what we do is we add another column, go to builder, and we call this amount adjusted, semicolon, and it's equal to multiplier, which won't, hang on, we need to save this, ignore me, exit out of that. Okay, save this query and call it query costs payments union sorted, otherwise it won't pick up multiplier. So go back in there, builder, amount adjusted, and it's multiplier times amount, and we return. So now, instead of showing 480, it's actually showing minus 480. Instead of showing 6, it's showing minus 600. But for the payments, here it was showing 840, and here it's still showing 840. So we've done exactly what we wanted to do for the amount adjusted. Next, we need to get the VAT rate. Now we are storing the VAT rate in table invoices, I think. No, yeah, table invoices, VAT. And we've got a booking ID FK, which we've also got here. Okay, so we're going to use the booking ID from here to return the VAT rate. So click in next column and call this one VAT rate, and it's a Dlookup, so it's going to look up the value, and we're looking up, I think it's just called VAT rate, might just be called VAT, I don't remember. Put that in open and close square brackets. In table invoices, where booking ID FK equals ampersand booking ID. If you don't know exactly what I'm doing, I've covered this like quite a few times in other tutorials. So yeah, okay, and run that, and we've got nothing, which means I did it wrong. Oh yeah, it's just VAT. So back to design view, VAT rate. So just change that to VAT. Okay, so now it'll work fine, and we get 0.2, and it's leaving the rest as null, which is good, I think. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to multiply the amount adjusted by, well, we need to add the VAT to the amount adjusted. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Go to design view, go to VAT rate. Let's just put that in an NZ function. So NZ, open bracket, and at the end, comma, 0, close bracket. So now anything that's null will have a 0. And we're going to say amount including VAT here. And that's going to be well, it should be amount adjusted. Amount adjusted. I'll tell you what, don't do that. Just do amount, if we can. Amount times, and then in brackets, 1 plus VAT rate. Okay, and press run. So that's 576. This is 1960. Okay. And let's just encase that in CCUR, which is going to change that to a currency. So it actually looks better. And last thing we're going to do is amount including VAT adjusted, which is amount including VAT times multiplier. Amount inc VAT adjusted, not what we want to do, and it's amount including VAT times multiplier, which is down there, and run that. Okie dokie. Alright, so that's actually the full query that we want. Okay, so we're going to use this query cost payments union sorted as the basis for the sub report. It's a little bit involved. Just to recap everything that we did, we've got an amount, which is either a payment or an extra charge or a charge for a period of nights in a room. We've then got a multiplier, so we're determining whether we want to minus this amount or plus it to a running sum. Then we've got an amount adjusted, and we're also taking the VAT rate. We're working out the initial amount plus the VAT is amount including VAT, and we're also working out amount including VAT adjusted for the multiplier. That's it. Okay, like I said, if anything's a little bit confusing, feel free to watch the video again, but maybe if you just follow on to the next video, you'll actually see why we've done some of these things. I know I will. So, okay, thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.